Talent Talk podcast. Today we are having our weekly Talent Talk Tuesdays. I got a new wave in the building with me.
Come on.
Another Talent Talk.
You already know.
Welcome. Thanks for having us, per usual.
Come on. Like always.
How you guys feeling today? Got Skip and Lou.
Man, it's just
feeling wonderful, Today is January 25th, and we had to pay respects to our fallen brother. It's been 6 months since he passed. A1 Swervo, that new single just released, a real one. Be sure to tap in ASAP, run his numbers up. We running everybody up. The whole team's coming up this year, so just spreading that love and positivity and just keeping that energy going.
Come on, glad to hear that. Glad to celebrate his life. He's an amazing person, man. Shout out A1 Swervo.
Shout out A1.
Yes, sir.
So today on Town Talk Tuesday, we're gonna go with the topic: How Seattle are you? So are you guys feeling pretty Seattle-like-ish?
I mean, one might say, one might say with the attire, one might say.
With the manner shirt,
come on. And you see the real Seahawks piece, done by Mala. One thing we gotta
it's beaded, right? It's a bead.
Oh yeah, obviously in prison, Mala learned how to bead, and man, he has turned his skill into an incredibly, just an incredible talent. This is as a Native American, beadwork is really essential as far as your regalia and everything, and people need to understand how skilled, this is worth more than diamonds to me, just because I know someone put their hard work and effort, not only it being Mala, my cousin, but just someone in general put their time and effort and their intricate work in the one thing. And for it being Seahawks, if anything, oh yeah, I'm tapped in.
So, being on our How Seattle Are You topic, people always ask when they come in town, does Seattle have an accent? What's Seattle's accent? So what are some of the things that people from Seattle say, or you guys feel like the Seattle accent?
I think most people say no, but that's because we don't be we think, of course, we mastered perfect English. I think that every Seattle person has a white voice. They have that ability to do that because to code switch to a certain degree. Because other people code switch and they are fake in it. Their whole accent's off. People who down south, if they were to throw on a white voice, I'd be like, that is not you. But here it's you, but you're just manipulating it, But it's you. That's what kind of lingo because we're too similar with the Bay. Even the Bay, they code switch, but the white people there, they know the lingo, they know the street lingo, so you can throw that in there sometimes. And that's just a little
West Coast connection.
Yeah, West Coast connection. When me and Jorge and Cody went down to the Bay, our experience there, being with the Levi's people in that same room, that same vicinity to where you're getting that personal, you get to pick up off of people's actual personal talk. They talk like normal people, who are cultured, they're not really talking oh, you have to have a certain etiquette about yourself or anything like that. So
yeah, we talk really urban, overall, but I feel like a word filthy, even in California, they don't even use that one.
Yeah, I feel
explain what filthy means.
Filthy, when you're filthy, and yeah, they use that in the Bay, obviously, filthy rich, but filthy is
you're the one.
You got that swag, you got that. You're just overall it type thing. Same thing with we invented a few words up here, to be honest, that you reeled me.
Reeled me. Yeah, people might not understand me, oh, you trying to reel me.
Yeah, if I was to say reeled you, that'd be I mean, in a sense of using the word real, you reeled me in, type shit, but without an intent to, you reeled me in. Yeah, left me hanging type shit, oh, you reeled me. Or if, if someone was.
You reeled me in and you just left me hanging.
Exactly.
Like a fish out the water.
Real, bro.
Yeah.
Let me out the water.
Yeah, that, and then, of course, there's the Tacoma-founded term hut.
Big hut.
When
you gotta tell them what hut means.
And this is big props to Tacoma, because this is a great word to use. Obviously, it's in our lingo and everything. Hut is it's over, and in Seattle lingo,
It's
we used to
dead.
say over 10 because of Vanoy over 10 who went to Garfield and played for UW. But we would be like, it's over 10, it's 110. Like we'd put a ton on everything.
Oh yeah, we finna slide into this party team.
Facts.
Big time.
And that was too wavy. Like really, I feel like that whole Seattle scene, like growing up, like there was almost like a new word, almost like every year type thing. Cause then out of nowhere, we started calling parties functions.
For sure.
I'm not gonna cap. I mean, I kind of founded the word a little bit because I mean, eventually named the bong after it. But chipping, whenever we'd be like, "Oh, you're chipping," it'd be like that was literally like something that we started with our inner circle because it started in 2K. Like if you're down, like in our 2K, like games would be hot. Like growing up, like they were always intense because we had so many people like. You know, of course, at the house, like, you know, in the tournament and everything, but they get intense because it's just the bros and everything. And whenever, like, you know, we do like halftime, like, you know, little interviews and stuff like that. And and it was me who, you know, every time anybody come up to me, I'd be like, I'm just chipping. Even when you're winning, you're chipping. If you're losing, you're chipping. You're always chipping. So we just took that lingo and correlated to everyday life. Like, you know, how's your day going? Oh, I'm chipping. Like that means that you're just getting it through. Like, you know,
we had that slang in when it could save us time.
Exactly. So like bringing that slang to the table, chipping, active. I feel like not everybody says active. You know.
And I feel like overall we shorten a lot of words.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm gonna go to spittle when you're going to the hospital.
Facts.
I will say if that's gonna be Washington's accent, I think that's it. What high school did you go to?
Renton. And that's one thing. That's
not
yeah. That's yeah.
Apostrophe.
Facts.
Facts.
Put a little smooth, you know, on the end or something like
nah,
that.
it's the T. It's the T. We don't pronounce our T's. And I was just about to get to that. That's actually scientifically proven. So our official slang, like Seattle, Washington slang, is we don't pronounce our T's. When people say Seattle, like I just said, Seattle, it sounds like with a D. Seattle. But there's real people outside of Seattle that Seattle. Like I can't say that. Like Seattle. Like
think about when they call it Seattleites. Like we can't say Seattleite.
Yeah,
Some other Seattleite.
Yeah.
That's facts. We do not pronounce the T's.
Yeah, we come on. R.I.P. to Tito. Rich Relly. That's the only T that we pronounce. For real.
Xiao Fin, Hendrix Music Academy said.
Come on. And there's a lot of lingo that obviously is just indoctrinated with us. Like we say South End. That's always been around. Like since I was born, South End. Like my parents came up with that. Like their generation came up with that. Like maybe even before then. Like it's been like that for a while. And to shed some light on it, just I don't know if we're gonna talk about it just to shed some light on it. The real reason why Seattle is the town and will always be the town. Tacoma's never been the town, never will be the town, because, and this is historically proven. So for y'all watching out there, this is some real, you know, insight of what I'm gonna give you. So when Washington was made as a state, their main city was Tacoma. Tacoma was the city. It's always been the city. But Tacoma went through Great Depressions. It went through droughts and everything. Seattle was supposed to be the kind of sideline city because Tacoma's port's bigger. So they were always the city. But Seattle started as a town. Actually, it started as a village. But then it became a town. It was a town for a long time. And it was the town of Seattle. It was not the city of Seattle. The town of Seattle. So I come from the town. I'm native. Technically, it's a village, but I grew up in a village. It takes a village to raise a person. I grew up in the village of the Central District, you know, but I'm from the town, Seattle. You know, we became a city afterwards because everybody wanted to come to Seattle after that, you know. But Tacoma started out as the city historically. You know, they were supposed to be the number one city in the Northwest. You know, they had all the railroads over here. they had the logging industry booming, and people just got tired of that funk. Come on, Seattle will always be the town, though. So that's how Seattle I am. I'm so Seattle that I know the history of it. I know the whole backstory. Obviously, our cousin Jimi Hendrix has done so much for the city of Seattle to provide that musical aspect of, how we're just experimental, how we go, not only in music, but our just minds are just, years beyond, creative, and years beyond of what's really relative in society. Kurt Cobain was on that same way because he's from here too. RP them both. Yeah. Head of the wave. Head of the wave.
So, what are some of you guys' best all-time Seattle rappers? You shout yourself out as always if you want to, but
definitely. I'm definitely number one. I gotta throw that out there.
Say something about you guys before we continue. Class Clowns, y'all have to check out their music.
Come on, come on.
Years and years in the studio. It's professional. It's professionally recorded and mastered. It sounds really good. No one's falling like these guys. Majority of the time, they don't even cuss unless they're featured on a song where they're swearing. It's good music all around.
It got to be real animosity for me to cuss. Purposeful.
Below, you'll find their music in our Town Talk Apple Music playlist. So tap in with that.
Check that out. Check that out. But top artist, you got to give it to him. Juice the God. He's inspired so many of, being that he's a year younger than us, he was just an amazingly talented individual in general. As far as, him playing sports, basketball, he was crazy. In middle school, we were fortunate enough to actually have that kind of memorable experience of, even though our team, we came from Madrona K through 8, our 8th grade year, we just so happened to, just be dominating everybody like how we always wish we would have and everything. But in the playoffs, everything happens in the playoffs. It was Juice the God that was carrying Denny on his back, and he was really giving us buckets. But, we came out with the dub, but you just got to give that respect that, for us to go undefeated that year, win the whole championship and everything, like this was someone young, who didn't pass too long after that, moment too. So you really got to, appreciate that moment and appreciate his ability that, man, he was just a multi-talented person, because I had no clue he was even a rapper until we had already got out of high school, and everybody was like, bro, this is Trayvon. Like, I was like, I thought they were just two different people. Like, I was like, oh, Juice the guy from the West. Like, I must have not met bro. Like, I must have not met bro. I don't know who this is. But then putting two and two together, I was like, oh, shit. Like, wow. Like, man, so talented. And he inspired so many people, not just in a flow way, but just in that way of just being confident with yourself and really owning that. So for sure, he's definitely one of my top ones. Other than that, man, you just gotta spread the love. You gotta mention Q Hurt. You gotta mention Mafi D. You gotta mention French Dioso. He's had some slaps. Tana, R.I.P. That boy was really creative, and every time I think of that boy, and that's what's crazy, is because he's another one of those people who obviously go from a different name from what, obviously what we knew him as and everything. We knew him as Lil James, and pulling up on that bicycle at beach, almost every day and everything, just smiling, just trying to get in the mix, you really just, hold that to your heart. Like, man, everybody's trying to make something happen, and it's crazy how, these
it's crazy
people are motivated
too, but we've seen these people grow up with us,
Facts.
We've seen them as kids, as young kids, and we've seen them develop, and it's actually crazy to see them just go away real fast like that.
Facts.
And you see the potential and the talent coming to the right time, like their
Facts.
time was right now, right here, right now. So to see that, if it was taken away too early, man. But for all-time rappers, definitely, the town got lots of love, especially with the guys. A1 Swervo, hands down. Like,
our brother is gonna have some heat coming out. Be sure to keep tapped in with him. He just released a single today, a real one, the radio mix and the explicit. So You got best of both worlds on that. You can't miss on that.
Come on, who
For
else,
real.
man? Who else
Yeah,
you
we
got?
got Bundy.
Oh yeah, man. We keep on forgetting because it's family. But
It's family.
But,
Yeah.
I mean,
hard, though.
I gotta
Bundy's
throw
serious.
out Chiefin and Morgang. I keep on forgetting this family
that's
because
why I say he's gonna take it away from me because I was gonna tell you who my favorite all-time female rapper is, and it's not just in the
come
it's
on,
just all-time
come on,
female rappers.
come
period.
on,
Like, you know, respect for Lil Kim, you know, the queens, you know, Nicki, all that.
come on.
But damn, Gifty Gab,
Yeah, she gifted.
man,
She
mighty
gifted.
heavily. Yeah, to me, when I first seen her at concert, she opened up my eyes to like what the rap game is and what really hip hop is. That concert was crazy. Like, that's real hip hop.
Yeah,
That's real hip hop, and people, you know, all around the world have noticed it. And I'm glad
Facts.
that she finally got that exposure that she's always deserved. She's
Facts.
always worked hard, and the performance is 10 out of 10. Like, live
Facts.
performances from artists is not usually the same stuff you hear, you know, on the radio or, you know, in the headphones, but that live performance is even better.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It'll bring it out you.
Was just like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Was crazy.
And I was fortunate enough to just be in the scene with not really Morgang at their peak. And this is all respect to, you know, all the OGs who are coming from Morgang. So many people, Morgang definitely set the foundation in Seattle hip hop in general. I feel like, because not only did they have the arsenal of just the rappers who were just about bars, but they had the swaggy rappers, and then of course you got Gab, who's kind of the stronghold on the women. But when you have pinnacles like Nacha Picasso, Cuddy, you know, when you have Jarv D and Notch, and you got a whole lineup of just so many potential, you know, artists from Cam the Mac to Thad Koth now, Mac Ned, who was with, you know, Lil Peep. You got my brother Chiefin
with the Raiders.
Huh?
I said Kenyatta with the Raiders.
Oh, Kenyatta, but he was
all in high
more
school.
with the Raiders rather than Morgang, but just Morgang set that foundation of owning the city. Like, you know, everybody else wanted to just kind of be out the city, like, you know, just trying to find that enough clout just so they can get out type thing. But Morgang set the foundation of really just owning the city and owning the whole scene within the city. Like, Jess might have not been like, you know, a millionaire here, obviously, but the impact he had was almost like a millionaire, where girls were fainting at the concerts. And this is local. Like, these are local venues. Like, they can reach out and touch you, but it's just too big of life for them. So it was like, just seeing that face to face, and especially being young, like seeing it and also putting my friends on and stuff like that, it just gave you that edge and that you know,
it puts you in a whole different retrospective.
Exactly.
What your talents of, not even talents, just of who you naturally are.
Yeah.
It can really get you hella far.
Hella far.
And you see it all the time with social media now. You know, you can just be yourself and you can get some bands. You know, you can get some TikTok followers and all that.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, the town has always developed a lot of talent, for what I've noticed, from all sides. It's crazy, all sides of Washington.
Facts.
I mean, it's just not just in Seattle. It's not just in Tacoma.
Facts.
You got Fed. You got my boy K.
God, come on, holding it down, along with the McDaniels brothers in hoop. Come on, Federal Way, Fairway.
It's a big hoop city too. Like, talk about some of the people that made it out of town just off of hoop.
I feel like the connection in hoop has really, it's been more than a Seattle thing. It's a Washington thing now. Yeah, because Washington has always been a basketball state. People have never just really gave us our respect, because they just see all these bigger states and figure more people, more talent, but that's really not the case. The actual the realistic view of it is, we care about basketball more than any sport in the state. Like, you know, we're overall an athlete state. I'd say, yeah, just well-rounded in that general. Football, baseball, basketball, but basketball is definitely number one, as far as if any, and this is just knowledge of just even being someone who's just been in that scene. if college coaches hear that you're just from Washington and you're a hooper, like that's already like you already earned your roster spot thing. But when you have solidified NBA stars or stars on the rise who are coming from each and every corner from the state, it just only gives you that more motivation to be even better and stuff like that. And when they bring it back to the community, it's just, that stuff is priceless. Like, Baby Boy coming back to what, like Jamal Crawford came back, like Nate Robb came back.
Crawford Pro Am every summer, for real.
Crawford taking the Pro Am from Doug Christie, respect to that. And those are the two beach guys, them bringing the Pro Am here, especially Jamal doing it during a time where we had the Sonics taken from us. Yeah. That is crucial because, to be honest, that's the only real like
motivation in the city.
What I was gonna say is that have that NBA feel to really keep that feel around the city and kind of band-aid that heartbreak that we don't have our Sonics, we don't have a professional basketball team, even though we're the basketball state, like we're literally missing out on it. But having the Pro-Am here, you get that personable experience. I may not have been to a lot of NBA games within these past like 5 years, but I was front row at that Pro-Am versus the Drew League. And wow, the town put on. I'm talking about that was 206 and 253 and 425. Like that was town.
Who'd you see there? You got to name them out. Like who
when everybody came out, that's what I'm saying. That was love in the city at the highest. Like Zach LaVine, Nate Robb, to Isaiah Thomas, to Terrence Williams, to who's the one? B-Roy didn't play because his knees. Tony Roten played, but what's the name from Seattle Prep? Martell Webster. Ooh, he was nasty. Ooh, he got drafted right out of high school, and he was eating that game too. I'm saying, like, people from Seattle, they're more than likely, out of anybody in the room, they're gonna take that opportunity and run with it. Like, they're gonna make the most out of that opportunity because they know what it's like without a basketball being in your life, like, type thing. So, like, for everyone that was in that Drew League versus Pro-Am game, everybody made their opportunities like happen, like for real. Like Isaiah Thomas blocking Trevor Ariza's dunk that game. Like Trevor Ariza tried to get a fast break dunk. Little Isaiah Thomas hustling down the court. And this is someone who just got a contract this year, like, and had to work towards it because, the stigma of he's too small still type thing, or he's too injured type thing. But that hustle, you could just see it. Like, it's just in the town. It's in you. It's not on you. It's in you. Like, that's where that grit, that motivation. That's what I'm saying. We play defense here. Like, hold on. First, got to make a special shout out to Cuddy, my little bro, Shadid Shabazz. That boy holds it down on both ends of the court and is now the number one scorer in University of Alaska history. So I just got to shout that out real quick. But that's players like that, like players that probably even I hope he makes it to the league. I hope Dieter makes it to the league. We all hope Dieter makes it to the league.
We know how that is. If you give us a chance.
That's what I'm saying. You give him a chance, he going to run with it, And that goes for anybody, people that we play with and, grew up with alongside because, we're in the same class, Perryon, he's playing for the Windy City Bulls, but once he gets that opportunity, it's going to be crazy.
We're going to be there.
For real. But overall, I think the experience that we have in Washington is just really special because it forms a community. It's not just all about I went to Rotary, and that's how I got where I'm at. Like, people come from all types of programs.
It's about your networking, about
exactly
who you met over the years. Because of if you want to be like you can have friends in the northest part of the town and the southest part of the town.
Facts.
It's so interlocked, and everyone knows somebody from a different area. Yet it's a like a good enough size of an area where you can get around and know people everywhere.
Yeah,
right. It's a small social scene for
Facts.
Seattle, even though it's blossoming. Like the most people in the nation are moving here. It's still like
Yeah.
a small social scene.
Exactly. And I think people really take that to heart because that's one thing that makes the town is everybody knows everybody.
We got Leon joining us. I'm about to add him to the stream.
Hey, come on.
Hey,
Hey.
Leon here tuning in from LA.
I had to go back door to get in.
From the backstage. Come on.
Come on.
So how you doing today,
What's
Leon?
up, my tree?
Come on. How's life down in LA? What's the weather like?
Hot, but I'm coming up on Sunday.
The first, right?
Oh man, it's cold up
We're
here.
gonna get you on the next town talk.
It's okay. I'd rather be cold than hot.
Oh, yeah, that
Right
is
now.
true. Overheating. Can't do with that.
I can't believe it.
It's finally
I got in. It took 45 minutes.
I know. I seen you backstage, but I just wanted to get you at a good time. We're having a good flow of conversation. But yeah, you see, we got the. OG.
So what are you guys talking about?
We're talking about the Seattle basketball scene right now.
Being a Seattle,
Being a Seattle,
from
like
Seattle,
the slang of Seattle, basketball in Seattle, and growing up.
Talent.
Now,
Talent that Seattle
I got a question real quick.
this world.
Now, we've talked about Seattle athletes. Now we're talking to Leon Hendrix here. Who is your favorite Seattle musician?
Me.
Come on. Hey, and that's a lot of legends, that's going for
Well, Seattle has a long history of famous people, like even Bing Crosby. I've never heard of him.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, we know Bing. Come on.
Judy Collins.
Yep.
All kinds, Hart.
Yep. Kenny G.
There's so many. I used to book Hart when they were a garage band. I knew they were gonna make it.
Woo!
They were like, I get $50 for Saturday night for them.
Oh man,
in 1970.
You lowballed them.
No, that was good for a tavern gig back in the day.
Yeah, that is true. Is this this is right before Barracuda, right?
Yeah. Oh no, this is I said garage band.
Yeah. This is fresh out there.
Like they're two little young, fine little sisters.
Come on.
I had just gotten married, so I couldn't mess around.
Come on.
Okay, let me stop right there.
It's okay, just no swearing on YouTube, but continue.
And all them bands like Pearl Jam and Mother Love Bone. Mother Love Bone used to be Mother Love Bone, then it became Pearl Jam, and Soundgarden and
Yep, Alice in
all
Chains.
Them bands came from all the little bands I used to book, like Rimfire and Bighorn and Child. These are old Seattle bands.
Wow.
When they used to have clubs, you can go every weekend and listen to some music and stuff. And then my cousin Eddie Hall, your cousin.
Come on.
He had a band called Septimus.
Yep.
And then Robbie Hill and the Family Affair.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie played with them for a minute. And then Robbie Hill married my cousin Diane. Remember? Oh, you guys don't. I'm sorry. I think I'm talking to somebody.
No, Leon, we know about Auntie Diane.
Yeah.
Sure. Hendrix.
Anyway, most of the action was on Jackson. It was called Action Jackson.
Hey, come on.
410 Supper Club. They had gambling joints behind the pool halls.
Man, we need to bring that back.
Yeah.
So here, look
I saw James Brown for 50 Cent.
For
at Eagles.
50 Cent?
Yeah.
You said in the Eagles?
At Eagles Auditorium.
Oh, at Eagles. Okay. I thought you said
a concert venue down there.
Yeah, you went to the 1979 Sonics Championship with Leon team.
Okay, so George, tell them I'm gonna be going live next week.
Yeah, we're gonna go live next week. But look at the screen. You talk about the Sonics 1979 championship. What do you remember about that? The basketball championship, Sonics.
I can't hear you, son.
The Sonics.
When the SuperSonics.
Oh, the Sonics. Gus Williams.
Ooh, slick.
Gus Williams and who was the
Downtown Freddie Brown.
Downtown Freddie
Downtown
Brown.
Was Spencer
Freddie
on
Brown.
that team?
Spencer
Haywood on that team?
Yeah, he was for a minute.
Yep, and Jack Sigma.
Jack Sigma. And the little guy with the freckles looked like my little cousin, my little grand cousin.
Oh, was that Lin? It wasn't Lenny. No, it wasn't Lenny. It was what's his name?
Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson. There you go.
There
Come
you
on,
go.
that's what I was thinking
He
of.
was a hooper.
Yeah, he was. Him and Slick Watts.
Yep, Slick Watts.
Headband. Headband Slick.
If you, I told my grandson, I told George that if he wanted to see somebody awesome, he should see Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Woo! Earl the Pearl.
Yes, that's a legend.
He was a superstar back in the day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gotta check him out. Anyway, what are you guys doing?
You know, we just
talking about the town.
Talking about Seattle. You know,
how's your store doing? Because you guys need to outfit me with some rock and roll clothes.
Oh yeah, you know I got you. I got a jacket.
You know, you made me look like, you know, something.
101 for sure.
So
anyway, you guys have to go.
Oh yeah, you're coming. What day are you coming in town though?
I'm coming on. I'll be there on Sunday.
Sunday. All right, y'all. So you'll be here for Town Talk Tuesday, episode 3.
On Sunday.
On Tuesday.
Tuesday. Well,
yeah, of course. Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Leon.
All right, love you guys. See you soon.
Love you too.
Thanks for having us.
We're back with just y'all now.
Come on.
We had Leon tap in.
Wow.
To Town Talk,
that was
y'all.
perfect time right there.
That was perfect timing, and wow, that was way too legendary.
every time with Leon's legendary moment, man.
I know people at home are hearing this info like, man, Leon Hendrix is booking Pearl Jam and booking these guys only for $50.
Hearing all this information, like, wow, I thought I was Seattle. I'm not really in Seattle.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. So much history in Seattle. You know, there's
there's so much going on in Seattle. It's crazy.
And there's so much to learn too.
Yeah. Speaking of the Sonics, did you guys ever get to go to a Sonics game in your life?
Oh, absolutely.
I never got to go to one. Explain that for the people.
So
the new Seattleites.
So this is for people who obviously didn't grow up with the Sonics. There used to be a thing within the school district, within the Seattle school district, where they did a thing called Read to Succeed, and you basically it was it was like a little postcard, and you would just have your parent or guardian signature at every basketball, which represented a day in the month for every day that you read and for how long, you know. But my parents were never home because they worked night shift, both of them. And, you know, at the time, like, we basically, I have a whole bunch of siblings, so we had to fend for ourselves, like, every night. So I couldn't even stay up to wait for my parents to come home. So the teachers would think that I was, like, the bad kid, like, well, when they eventually caught me. They thought that I was, like, just, like, making stuff up. But then they obviously picked up, like, oh, okay, I understand the situation, but I'd forge my mom's signature all the time. All she did was put an MJ cursive. So I'd just be putting that I'd actually put it for days ahead just so I could be sure. But every time you fill up those postcards, you turn them in, and then they give you 2 tickets in return. Usually you didn't have really a game of choice, but if they did, it'd be out of like 2 games like you wanted to go to. And every time I choose the Rockets, but T-Mac was always hurt, so I'd be hurt too. But what's crazy is I would go, and our cousin Gianni, his stepdad had like season floor tickets to the Sonics home games and would have all these guys on the court side. And I thought that I was going to get down there one time because, of course, Gianni's my cousin. I've been over these guys' house numerous times. Thought everybody was cool. I get down there, and his stepdad sends Gianni up with me to sit with my mom in the nosebleeds. But it was overall just a crazy experience. Like, just being able to actually be in that environment, that enclosed environment with your favorite player, especially like growing up and stuff like that. It just was like bigger than life, like for real. Like, it just felt like, yeah, obviously now you really got to cherish them because the Sonics aren't here. But at that time, it even felt like just too good to be true. Like, and Lou could probably speak on this too. This is just a little quick fun fact. Like people are probably gonna really be like questioning us about it. But tell me why our sixth grade year we played for Garfield Community Center, and our coach was one of our best friend D'Angelo, his stepdad Ron, and he had, I don't know what he did to swindle these folks, but had Kiarina play us at halftime. We did a halftime show up playing basketball against each other at a Sonics game. Like we're all wearing like home and away like Sonics shirts and stuff like that. And man, that was the first time in my life I was actually putting up shots. And I was making them too. So I was really feeling myself. But that whole experience as a whole, just being out on the court at, especially a court that NBA players were on and everything, and seeing actually looking out in the crowd, and like I said, like Seattle is the town, like one person, everybody. So it was like as soon as like I realized like there was a crowd watching, I could just spot numerous people that I knew, and everybody was just like in the next day when we came back from school, everybody was like, oh, we all saw you guys was, oh, you airballed that shot though, like it was just like it was just all love, and it was just an incredible experience that you can never forget. Like just being out on that court, especially now they're not here no more.
Yeah, I think like having the Key Arena back then for sure was like monumental for all of us, especially
for real
as kids. And I think that was like probably the best thing Seattle Public Schools did for us. In reality,
they ain't doing it for no Seahawks games. I can tell you that.
But yeah, shit, that was the first time I ever got starstruck. I don't even know how I got down there, but I was me and my pops. We were down in the tunnel. I really don't know how we got there. I know we hit Seattle Center has that little back the parking lot where the players park at.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow we got back there, but we went through that way and got into the tunnel. And I was holding the basketball, and I was right in the tunnel where you see the entrance of the basketball court. But, and I was just standing there, and next thing you know, I turn around. I'm like this. He's like, what's up, kid? I was starstruck. I didn't ask him to sign the ball. I had the ball like this, everything. Guess who it was?
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Man,
come on,
man. And his birthday is on July 20th, the same day as
come
me.
on.
So it was fake that day. My dad still laughs at me
for not saying sign it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You needed that.
For not doing that.
You needed that.
Man, yeah. So Ray Allen hit me up. I definitely need a basketball sign ASAP.
Hey, come on.
But
and I need them Sonic 5s. I know you. Yeah.
I need the 20s too. I need them all.
I'm not gonna lie. I need all the Sonic PEs. Ray, you're selfish, and everybody knows it. You know that you got the best colorways. Everybody knows the 13s, the everything. Ray, you hear me? Walter Ray Allen, you hear me? You got all the filthy J's, and yeah, you just hoarding them. You're hoarding them.
Hey, yo, shout out KD. We miss you, fam.
Oh, yeah, shout out KD. We miss you. You're always welcome back. You are a Sonics legend. You and Jeff Green. If Uncle Jeff want to come too, come get a contract, man. You know we going to put it in for you. You know we going to do it.
I remember the first
and
day.
James Harden.
I remember the first day that KD touched down in Seattle. They had the whole little city front access. All the kids and all the adults can come and talk straight to him. Like he was right there just signing basketballs and T-shirts for hours. I mean, just hours. Introduce yourself to Kevin Durant, the number 2 overall pick.
Man should have been number 1, but I'm glad he was our number 1.
Exactly.
I'm glad we didn't get a Greg Oden. Oh, that would have hurt. Imagine getting Greg Oden in our team folding. Like that would have been like, yeah, we deserve to fold at that point. But it's the fact that we got KD, the greatest pick of since Jordan. Like someone who's a full package, like, man.
At number 2.
And had to give up our team the next year. Like that is, yeah.
Wasn't right.
You stunted his growth. He could have got a chip way earlier. In Seattle, he would have definitely got it. And that's not coming from Seattle biasness. This is coming from real isms. Like you keep those same draft picks that you had in OKC, Seattle might have went back to back. maybe the youngest team to win the chip because they had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, KD, Serge Ibaka, Jeff Green. Like that was a whole squad, and Seattle would have really appreciated those guys. Like we appreciated LOB. They would have been before LOB, right before LOB. You know, they would have had a whole squad. But
Quincy Pondexter.
Yeah.
Quincy.
It's like he might be from up here, so that's still love. He did go to UW. I don't know if he's up here. But man, having LOB was kind of just like a cushion for us because Seattle was desperately in need, not only for a championship, but just to have some type of unification as far as sports, because Mariners
are the Mariners.
They're the Mariners, but at the same time, I mean, the Mariners have always kept us roped in with certain unique players, and we just haven't had that since like Ichiro left. And Ichiro left like 08, 09, so I mean,
it's been a while.
Was it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, so talk about the Mariners, and they didn't make the playoffs this year, but what about this upcoming year? It's looking good for them.
Yeah, I was just talking to my dad about that. Like, we were both like in agreement as far as the biggest move that the Mariners have ever made. They made this past offseason, and that was making King Griffey Jr. part owner, because that's not only someone who is, who is their pride and joy, but someone who is really beneficial to the whole team and to the city, who wants to make the best moves. Yeah. So I feel like with Kyle Lewis not even playing last year, Julio Rodriguez balling out in the minor leagues last year, now getting bumped up and everything, the sky is the limit for these guys. We now have a team of color. We now have, pitchers on deck. We got infielders with multiple Golden Gloves. J.P. Crawford, shout out. Yep. There's a whole lot of talent on there, and especially with the kids in the town, seeing, ball players of color, representing, Seattle in those teal jerseys and everything. That just makes it more. It boosts the overall morale of the city and everything, because now the kids of color want to try out baseball. Now they feel like, black kids deserve to play baseball and stuff like that. And anytime you're doing that, that's not just only attributing to winning, it's also attributing to the whole culture of the city and everything, making kids feel like they're not left out, misrepresented and stuff like that. But we really have ballers on this team. Like, I can't wait to. I've always been big on Kyle Lewis, but I can't wait for him to actually have a real full season this next year. And I feel like, sky's the limit. I know that these guys are going to pull out some wins and hopefully get us a playoff spot. And by the time next year, when we do have the Fan Fest, we'll actually have some all-stars there. So we won't be, just a team hosting the Fan Fest. And on top of that, hopefully our podcast blown up. Hopefully Class Clowns blown up. Hopefully Hendrix family got our respect. Hopefully we can actually give it to you direct in the Fan Fest ways that they need to be, because I don't know if you guys were there, but I was at the Fan Fest 2001, and I had my interview with Walter Kelly. Bro left to Arizona now, not a part of Q13 anymore, but that was real town just. Yeah, that was just a legendary moment. Like, as far as just having that to reflect on, just having that as a memory and as a collectible, basically, is that you not only have that experience, but you just have stuff still from that Fan Fest and stuff like that correlates till today, right? And stuff like that.
Yeah. But hey, overall, we had a crazy episode too. That was just effortlessly good interactions. We had the great Leon Hendrix join us live from LA, tapping in with the Seattle Town Talk. Come on. And got New Wave with me. You got Skip, got Stunt. Great show, you guys.
Come on.
I want to thank those who commented and viewed. And check out next week, Tuesday. We'll be here again. Come on, y'all.
Come on, tap in.